So we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1, verse 41.
Are we on the fan off?
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
The incense was too strong.
Okay. You have to put it off, Vincent.
No, it's fine. I put it off.
Okay.
An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life, both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performance of offering them food and water are entirely stopped. Purport. According to rules and regulation of fruitive activities, there is a need to offer periodical food and water to the forefathers of the family. The offering is performed by worship of Vishnu because eating the remnants of food offered to Vishnu can deliver one from all kinds of sinful reaction. Sometimes the forefathers may be suffering from various types of sinful reaction, and sometimes some of them cannot acquire a gross material body and are forced to remain in subtle bodies as ghosts. Thus, when remnants of prasadam food are offered to forefathers by descendants, the forefathers are released from ghostly or other kinds of miserable life. Such help rendered to forefathers is a family tradition, and those who are not in devotional life are required to perform such a ritual. One who is engaged in the devotional service is not required to perform such action. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery as stated in the Bhagavatam. Anyone who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, and has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligation to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled by performance of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So this chapter 1 entitled Observing the Armies. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, this is what will happen. And coincidentally we are following the 2 weeks of Pitta Park. So many Hindus, Hindi speaking, South Indian, North Indian, they don't do it correctly. So here is a laid down specification according to Bhagavad Gita how this procedure should be done and what is the result. So if you want, you can offer an Annadan or Pushpadan in a temple. The Brahmanas will cook, Brahmanas will offer to the deities, and then at a certain time you can go and collect it, and then you bring it home, and you put a picture of Srila Prabhupada, the departed, picture of the departed person, and you put Nishingadev, light and incense, and you take a little offering from the bowls, and you place it in front, and you tell this person, this prasadam has been offered to Shri Radharathan. Now we are offering you this prasad, please accept this humble offering, and close the door and leave it for 10 minutes. After that you come out, either you clap your hand 3 times or ring the bell and cover that offering. Whatever is offered to the departed, you let it go in flowing water. You take it to the river or the beach and you discard it. So if you don't do that, then what you do at home, you collect some vegetables, you cook it, then you offer it to a picture frame or the deity at home. And then when 10 minutes has expired and you remove that offering, You take out half of that offering from the offering bowl, you put it back into the pot. You take the other half, you make another plate for the departed. After the offering dishes has been washed, everything put away, then you can take one paper plate, you can take one spoon, you can dish a little rice, a little dal, and sabji, sweet, puri, pakora, whatever. And you do the same procedure. You have Srila Prabhupada there, the departed person picture form, and you have initiative. And then, however, or whatever relationship you have with this person, you call the name and tell them, we're offering you this prasadam. It has been offered to Shri Radharana, Go Nitai Srila Prabhupada. Please accept this humble offering, and you leave the room and go. And you don't eat what is offered to that person. You take it, you discard it in the flowing water. Now, this prasad, this Mahaprasad is so potent, it will come in contact with the departed soul. The soul doesn't come in contact with the prasad, but this prasad is so potent, Mahaprasad. It will come in contact with the departed soul, and from there he'll be elevated to the higher planetary systems, so that he can join one of the pastime in one of the universes where Krishna is performing his pastime, travel with his entourage, and then he goes back to Goloka Vrindavan or Vaikuntha. Now, this offering is especially meant for those who had an unnatural death, like suicide, accidents. They lose the human form of body. They become subtle body as ghost. Their body is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. So when they had prematurely left, or when they destined to leave in that situation according to the karma, they hung themselves or died in an accident, then we have to offer them this procedure, as we mentioned, so that they can come to a gross platform. They had cut short their life and they still had material desires. So, these ghosts and spirits, they like the devotees. They come and they trouble them. So therefore, when we were small, and if we were tired and we yawned, our mothers or elders will tell, cover your mouth and yawn. The subtle body goes into your system, goes through your mouth into your body. They take over your body and they enjoy. They don't like suffering. So sometimes you will hear the term, he is possessed. Could be true, possessed by subtle body, mind, intelligence, false ego, ghostly form. So once you offer this prasadam to the departed who had unnatural death, then it'd be very easy for them to come into a gross body. They have to take birth again in the material world and start from where they left. In chapter 2, verse 241, Prabhupada is writing in a translation, in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution. A little advancement on this path can protect you from the most dangerous type of fear. The most dangerous type of fear is losing this human form and being born in the lowest of the lowest species. So, if you took to this process and you had an unnatural death, or you had a natural death, then if you left here with 5%, then your next life will start with 6%. There's no loss of dimension. In the Mahabharata, Karna, a very great warrior, Kshatriya, during this Pitharpak time, he could not get liberated because he only gave gold and diamonds. He never gave grains. So they told him, go down to earth for this 14 days and give grains, then you're permitted to come back, like that. So, whilst you are able-bodied in this body, the body is fit, you must give some donation to the Supreme Lord, to your family, the Brahmanas, householders, so that you can make advancement. So Karna, he only gave opulence, he never gave grains. One devotee, name was Gokarna, he lost his piety, he became a vagabond, and he became a thug, and then they killed him. Now his brother went searching for him, and he could not find him. And then he went to a group of sages and saintly sadhus, and they asked them, "Do you know my brother? Do you know his whereabouts?" Then they mentioned that he was killed and he is now living as a ghost in a bamboo plantation in Calcutta. So he asked the sadhus, "What do we do?" They said, "You must read Srimad Bhagavatam. You must go there in the night time and read Srimad Bhagavatam to this form in a bamboo plantation." So the first night this man went, he's reading one chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. One notch of the bamboo fell off. Second night, same thing. On the seventh night, the human form came. He said, "Thank you, brother, for liberating me." That is the power of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, if somebody passes on and you did this procedure, you offer them prasadam, and then you dream of them, that means they're not settled. So you have to take Bhagavad Gita and read one chapter in front of the picture. And after you did that and you still dream about this person, then you have to give grains, you have to give charity to the brahmanas, to bless the soul that is still disturbed. Like that. So those who are practicing bhakti yoga, Krishna consciousness, there's no need for them to do this. Simply by rendering devotional service, their piety will increase, because 21 generations will get liberated. In the past, the present and the future. Liberation doesn't mean necessarily that they go back to Golaka Vrindavan or Vaikuntha or Ayodhya. Liberation means they take birth in a Brahmana family and make progress from there and elevate themselves through devotional service. So the simplest means to get out of this entanglement of the material world was emphasized by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, "Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Naseva, Katir Angata." Why don't you chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. So everything in this material world is inauspicious. What makes it auspicious is chanting of the holy name. Kali Kalyana Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar. In this age of Kali, I descended in the form of my holy name. So when we are chanting on our beats, we are massaging Krishna's body. So this chanting creates remembrance that we should remember the Lord 24/7 at all time. Death can come at any time. Test will come at any time, whether you're ready or not. So when you go to the crematorium and watch a funeral, you have to have the realization, it's my turn next, am I prepared for that? Am I prepared for it? You'll be fortunate if you have a Prabhupada box with the Namahatta playing, or some devotees that have loyalty towards you will stay with you till the end. They chant on the normal beats just to accompany you. So Maya is very strong. It is Krishna's energy. She will lure you or separately influence you away from spirituality or spiritual life. So once the mind gets attracted to the glitter of material life, then your spirituality falls down. So therefore we practice this chanting of the holy name to perfect it. So we try and perfect our chanting, engage in devotional service. Devotional service means rendering service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead without a tinge of material benefit. There's no material benefit by engaging in devotional service. It should be lovingly performed. So our most important activity is hearing the pastimes of the Lord, chanting His holy name, and engaging in His service. So sometimes ordinary person, they may be in a suffering condition due to the karma. Sometimes our family, friends and relatives may be suffering from certain type of disorder, maybe physical or mental. So we should try and help them by chanting the holy name, giving them Krishna Prasad. If you have taken Krishna Prasad, then you won't lose this human form of body. You are guaranteed the next birth just by honoring Krishna Prasad. So in our daily lives, when we are traveling, we could see at every stop street or robot, there is unwanted population. They are begging, they are soliciting for money, they are hungry. So we can carry some fruit that is offered and give it to them. It is unfortunate circumstances that their karma was such that they have to be like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean you should ignore their plight. As much as we can help them is Krishna Prasad. Give them some fruit or whatever prasadam we have. So this unwanted population, they can get the mercy and they can turn towards Krishna. Once Roshi Master said, in South Africa there's an ethnic group. As soon as you play music, they'll dance. What to speak of singing? And if you go with the Harinam party down to the beachfront, as soon as they start the Mahamantra, the chanting is so sweet. It enters into your ear and goes into the courtyard of the heart. It revives the reawakening of your spiritual life. Those ethnic groups automatically become attracted to that and they follow the procession, either mockingly they chant or genuinely. It's just that the holy name is so attractive. To those of us who are not serious in the practice, we should get more serious because we don't know when we can go, when our time is up. Today one devotee phoned and he said, "Oh, I'm having some difficulty in chanting." I said, "Then sleep early and get up early and chant." So Prabhupada made it very easy. As soon as you get up, you chant 4 hours before breakfast, 4 hours before lunch, 4 hours in the evening, and 4 hours before supper. So 16 rounds is done. So if you chant all year round early in the morning, then whatever karma is allotted for you for the day is already burnt out. Because it's finished. So we'll stop here. Is there any question, the spiritual consideration, or any spiritual nature questions we can attempt to answer?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class.
Yeah.
It's it's very interesting, to hear about, especially in this time of Pitta Paksh, you're talking about, the importance of praying to ancestors if you're not following the Bhakti Yoga. I'm interested to understand, because I've heard of, you get the different loks, then there's Pitu lok, and then you pray to the ancestors, and I'm trying to picture, so whatever soul that was on this earthly plane that has departed, and let's say they're your ancestor, what qualifies them to stay in Pitu lok versus any other consequent planetary or next life that they would have achieved from whatever their karma was? I'm trying to understand what is Pitu lok in any case? That's my first question.
See, it is a lower planet where those who are not engaged in devotional service, they reside there. Sometimes they are in the comfort zone. They can live for 20,000 years. But you need to get elevated and come. So in the Gaura Puran it is stated that if you do not give donation, sometimes the Hindus they put one small piece of gold in the mouth. I don't know if you know about that. So when you're going through this Pitta lok and this hellish planet, that river you cannot cross on your own. So if you get given go down, and then you just have to hold the tail of the cow and the cow will pull you across. That if you are a grossly natured person, that you are so sinful that you have to go through this hellish thing. But as we know, our forefathers, they were kind-natured. It's just that they took to the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas and they used the stairs to elevate themselves where we use the elevator. So the process is like a horse and cart and a car. But there's nothing wrong with that, it's a slow process. So sometimes, because of the certain restorative activities that we perform, we are indebted to our forefathers, our grandfathers, our ancestors. So we have to show them some little appreciation. You can go to Gaya. Lord Vishnu's footprint is in a circle. You offer milk, you offer garland, you offer your flowers and your prasad there. And you ask, tell him on behalf of so we're offering this like that. So more important than Gaya is Mahaprabhu. It is the hidden glory of Mahaprabhu. You can do that. So it's important that you do this offering as we spoke, and you go to the Goshala and you offer the cows, do some cow seva, some go seva like that. So when we do this procedure for forefathers, then they leave Pitta lok and they go to higher planets until they reach Sri Krishna. So your second part of the question?
Yes, it's a more so it just crossed my mind when you were talking. So thinking about the soul, and we for billions of years we've been going through the cycle of life, of birth and death, and then as I understand, once we go back to Goloka Vrindavan, we'll never come back to this material world. I was trying to understand, will there ever be, and maybe there's more, I know I need to do more reading and learning behind this, but I was trying to understand, would there ever be a time where those souls who have been through that samsara and now have been liberated, will there ever be a time where there's absolutely zero souls that would ever be in the material world, and then the material world is finished forever?
If every household have a set of Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, every household is cooking and offering the food stuff, every household on this planet Earth is chanting the holy name, then this whole material world will go back to the spiritual world. That was Bhaktivinoda Thakur said.
Okay.
So where we can give them mercy, we'll give it to them. So people are not ready to take to this process because they are comfortable in their comfort zone. Like that. People would rather go to the movies than come to the temple on a Sunday. It is their time. If they do not know what to do with their time, then they want to kill time. Like if you are married, your wife is chaste, spiritually inclined, your children are brought up in a spiritual atmosphere, you know, 9 o'clock you have to leave home, you need to go to the temple. If you build your relationship on a spiritual platform, then Maya will never touch you. Then at the time of death, you'll have a very auspicious destination. So we take to this process, we learn something and we share it with others. Just invite them to the temple, we can take care of them. Or when we're cooking on a Sunday, you bring them. Let them engage in service, but they can't touch fire. They can do some menial work. Your devotional service is accessible to every living entity. Just by rendering service, you can purify our existence.
Okay, thank you.
So this process is very simple. You don't need anything to do it. It doesn't cost money. We'll stop here.
Thank you so much. Right.